Oh gosh. I apologize. It's warm. My hair is growing. And no, I am not pulling a seeking sister wife. I have a zit. And this is the thing that I use to get rid of my zits. Anyway, let's get started. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? What's up, Nicole Dawn? Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. I was about to say shout out to Ordered Steps, because this is the reason why we do this. Come on in the room. What's up, Ordered Steps? We got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Hey, Caitlin, come on in the room. What's up, Shonda? Come on in the room. Hey, Billy, we got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Come on. What's up, Irene? Hey, Ethan. Whew, guys, it's getting so hot. Shout out to global warming. Warming, girl, you doing your thing and you doing it early. You are doing your thing and you're doing it early. I don't even know which way my hair is supposed to go. It's so hot. It's so hot. How are y'all doing? Oh, we're going to get into Thomas. We're going to get into Thomas. First of all, we have so much to talk about today. We really, really do. We got so much to talk about. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to do a quick review of the latest episode of The Bachelorette. Then we're going to get into Chris Harrison's measly payout. And then we're going to get into what just happened like yesterday, Rachel's Vulture article. We're going to get into the controversy about the article, and then we're going to get into the actual article where she is reading everybody and their grandmother for filth. It's about time. I'm glad she got her voice, and I'm glad that she feels confident and safe enough to speak. So I said, yes, Nikki, normalize pimple patches. I got to do what I got to do. I actually got these because they were stars. Of course, they actually work. They actually work. I wear it for 24 hours and there's no more zit. There's no more pimple. I love it. I love it. Hey, Angela. Oh, thank you so much, Angela. Thank you so much for the super chat again. Hopefully I can get my thing fixed today. I gotta find a screwdriver small enough to open the back here. And when I can, I'll replace my battery. But until then, this is our cash button. So thank you so much, Angela. I totally and truly and honestly appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, Rachel's article is something else. I couldn't even get through it because what I wanted to do was I just wanted to be surprised with you guys. So we're going to read it live. We're going to read it live. What is going on with Apple TV? Leave me alone. I'm sorry, my computer updated without my permission. So what happens when you leave it on the charger? All kinds of stuff happens. There we go. You know, I have to turn my phone off and on so I can have my current notes. Hey, Simply Simone. What's up, Tony? Tony, I signed up for your fitness boot camp. I did not realize it was in Canada. I'm sorry. I thought it was online. I'm sorry. Here I go thinking I'm about to work out with Tony online, and she gave me an address, and I was like, oh, okay, I can't make that one. But please, if you are in Canada, please go support our beautiful moderator, Tony. She is a fitness and wellness coach, and she knows what she's doing. I've taken some notes from her and applied them to my, fitness and health routine. And listen, so far, so good. So, yeah, go support our girl. Go support our girl. And also, guys, in the comments, let me know if you're sending me stuff on Instagram so I can be up to date. Because all the time I log off of here and y'all have been giving me tea about what we've been talking about on Instagram. And I had no idea. I had no idea. Let me see if my notes are here. Oh, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you for the ebook. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to work out with Tony. And I saw an address. I ain't got enough gas money. Let me see if my notes are here. If my notes are here, we're going to get started. Because like I said, we got a lot. Oh, the notes are here. The notes are here. Let's get into it. Not a lot to talk about. This episode was a little dry boots. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. The season has been dry boots. You know what I mean? Like we've been doing the best we can, making the best of what we can. And I told this show, I said, listen, you guys are, I told the show through, my platform, you guys are going to be competing with outside. You're going to have to give us something interesting. And it just seems like they have not been listening. So you get what you get. And do not blame if you have, lackluster views. Do not blame it on all of, the racial issues that have been coming up on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Blame it on the fact that you did not take into consideration that you would be competing with outside. So you gave us nothing when you could have given us Bachelor in Paradise 2.0. Hire me. I know what the hell I'm talking about. So let's talk about the men coming together in solidarity to let Katie know that Carl was trash. I said, yes, man. Let's do it. Baseball Body was the voice for the group. He went up to Katie at the rose ceremony because Katie was just like, my mind is so discombobulated. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm just going to cut straight to the rose ceremony. No more cocktail party. So baseball Body, I heard that he, notes. We talk about him. What's up? So Baseball Body went up to get his rose, and he was like, I just want to say in solidarity with the men that everything that Carl said is a lie. None of us said that about you. And Katie was like, are you serious? And all the men were like, yeah. Get the hell out of here with this same storyline every season. Now, Bachelor and Bachelorette, y'all think we're not going to catch on at some point? There's no way that every season somebody is going through the same exact thing, having the same emotions, being naive every season. The best season, and I know it got cut short, but the best season was, what is her name? That girl that's still caught up with Dale, Claire. Poor thing. Girl, the writing is on the wall. But the best season was Claire's because they could not control Claire. They could not control Claire. Claire did whatever the hell she wanted to do, and that is why her season was cut short. I miss that, wild woman, that unknown woman. You just never knew what she was going to do every episode. That is the type of person you want on reality TV. Not like you don't want to be able to control them, but you just want to know that they're just going to give me something. And I think that's what I liked about Claire's season, is that it just wasn't the typical storyline. It wasn't like, oh, some people are not here for the right intentions. Who is leading me on? Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I really, really like him, but the rest of the men don't. And I'm not seeing what the other men are seeing. Women's intuition, you see it and you know it. Let's not play these games. But we're going to play it this season, and Katie's going to fall in line because the check must be nice, and sis, I ain't hating. But I'm bored. I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. Here we go. What was said was not really what was said. He's trying to sabotage you and make you crazy. Anyway, Katie eventually listens to the men and cuts Carl. And then Carl does this weird, like, walk up to her and stares at her, and then he sashays away. Oh, he was such a weirdo. I'm mad that he's going home so early. You need that kind of weird energy, but I think Taj Mowry is going to take over that. Taj Mowry, also known as Thomas. I think he's going to take that position, but we're going to miss that weird energy from Carl. Every season needs a weirdo, and I feel like this season's weirdo went home too early. Anyway, Trey. So after the rose ceremony, the men gathered together. Trey, you're doing the most. Trey was just doing too much. Trey was just like, I didn't get any time. I'm so upset. Wow, dude, nobody would do this to me back home. You're doing too much. It's week 3. Like, you're that angry? Trey and Aaron, this episode was just doing way too much. How are you so mad? How are you so heartbroken and upset? This is the thing, right? I know it's a reality TV show, but I feel like the men on this season is just ODing with the drama. What the hell was that? Did you hear that? All right, let me watch what I'm saying. I feel like the FBI is listening in. Anyway, I just feel like the men are ODing with the acting. It's too much. They're doing too much. They're crying like week 2. They're falling apart. They're falling so deeply in love. They're so angry, like physically angry that they cannot have this time with her. If I was Katie, I would have been like, listen, I'm cute, but y'all doing too much. Like, y'all doing too much. Calm down. Calm down. I see the game that y'all all are playing. Trey, it was a lot. I'm so glad you got your camera time this episode, but baby, tone it down. It was giving too much. I can't believe he's doing this. He's ruining the whole thing for everybody. Week 3. Week 3. Chillax. Chillax, bro. Chillax. So something's going on with Aaron, right? I feel like after Taj Mowry leaves, we're going to find out what's actually going on with him. But Katie picked him last. And I don't feel like we got any reason why you picked him last. And it was like between him and Carl. That just didn't make sense to me, right? I felt like she had more traction with him, but I feel like there's something else going on with Aaron, and we won't know until Taj Mowry, also known as Thomas, leaves. We won't know what's really going on with him, but I'm starting to see some things with Aaron. Baby, you too fine to be so angry. Work on that. So then we get into this sharing circle. Well, I was torn, right? Because a part of me was just like, y'all don't need to be telling the world your business, right? I didn't like that, White Tellerlautner was like telling us that, he failed at being a husband. And then we go to the math teacher, also known as Rat Boy, who was talking about his, struggles with addiction. And then Katie opened up and shared about how she was assaulted at a party by someone who she later tried to justify the assault by being in a relationship with him. And then when she realized everything that happened, she just went into this really dark place where she just did not want to have sex. And finally she was able to get over that. And now she's very, sex positive, Katie. But I was just really torn, right? Because I was just like, listen, I know that there are some people who are watching this, who are hearing these stories, who can relate, who are getting free, right? But working in this industry, that there's somebody behind the scenes, not forcing the share, but encouraging the share and not really being aware that the share might cause harm afterwards, and not having the proper tools to make sure that your talent is okay after that share. Because we all know that if we share, I don't know if everybody's been through it, but I know myself personally. I told you guys when I was on the mental health panel with Scotty by Nature, I went into like a deep, deep, dark place. Had a little depressive episode, but it's okay. I did retail therapy. I'm fine now. But there was, that shame that comes over you for sharing, and just feeling really uncomfortable about letting the world know that you have issues, or that something traumatic has happened to you, or, all that stuff just comes after. So there's a part of me that was just like, yeah, I know people are getting free. I'm glad that you were able to share and be relatable and use this platform to talk about these struggles. But then I'm just like, I'm not quite sure that this show protected them, everybody who shared, in a way that they needed to be protected, and cared for them in the way that they needed to be cared for. Because Katie shared something that she didn't even share with her mother on national TV, right? I don't know. So I was torn. I was very, very torn about that. Still am. Anyway, Hot Dad is my Bachelor pick. I'm staying right there. I personally do not think that Hot Dad is for Katie. I don't think that Katie is ready to be somebody's mother, especially somebody who already has a mom, who has already been, raised to a certain extent and trained to a certain extent. I'm not so sure that she's ready to jump into that position, jump into fiance and mom at the same damn time. I'm not sure that she is ready for that, which is why I think Hot Dad needs his own show so that he can find the right partner with him. Like hearing his story that not only he shared with the men, but also that he shared with Katie, I was just like, y'all never listen to me unless you're trying to steal an idea that y'all never, are able to, lay out properly because you don't consult me, pay me my money. But y'all need to listen to me now. Y'all didn't listen to me about Abigail. Look at where we're at. Look at where we're at. Look at this dry boot season. No shade to Katie. This was Abigail's position. Now y'all about to fumble the bag again. I feel it. I feel y'all about to fumble the bag again and give us some Bachelor from 1972. Y'all better give us Hot Dad. Y'all better give us Hot Dad. The moment that he shared with the men, when he was talking about how he met his first wife, he said, I only said I love you to one woman. And it was my wife who I met in college. I pursued her. We dated. We got married. We had a baby. And 7 months after we had our child, she was diagnosed with cancer. And then he talks about, fighting to keep his wife alive and then watching her succumb to cancer and like watching his wife lose his hair. And who is better suited to find love than Hot Dad? Who is better suited on this show? I want him to find love today. No shade. Move Katie out the way. Get them dudes out and let's bring some women in for Hot Dad. This is my focus now. My focus is Hot Dad. I was just so moved. And then when he had his one-on-one date with Katie, and he was just like, it's a blessing to find love twice. And then Katie gave him, not just him the rose, but she also gave his son the first date rose. That's my Bachelor. That is my Bachelor. Don't mess this up. Y'all messed up so much. Y'all got to redeem yourself after what y'all did with Matt. Give us Hot Dad. Give us Hot Dad. I apologize. It's week 3. I don't know these names. Give me a minute. I'll know when we get down to the fantasy suites. I'll have everybody's name. But that's who I want to be my Bachelor. Oh, it's a blessing to fall in love twice. Can you imagine, right? Us watching him go on this journey, and then it gets down to the end of the show where he has to propose and he brings out his son. If he brings out his son with the engagement ring, we're losing it collectively. We are losing it collectively. And I'm telling you something, if the world is open, I'm definitely having a watch party. We're going to have a watch party. I don't know where it's going to be. I'm going to find someplace. We are going to have a watch party because we have to watch this together in real time. We have to share tissues. We have to cry and hold hands if we're vaccinated. You know what I mean? We have to go through this process together because we're going to be a wreck. We're going to be a wreck when that baby walks out with the engagement ring. Oh my gosh, we're losing it. We are losing it. Listen to me, ABC. That's our Bachelor. That is our Bachelor. Don't fumble the bag again. Again. Y'all don't like money. Y'all don't like money. Anyway, Taj Mowry is a scammer. He is a dumb scammer at that. How the hell you gonna let these men pin you into a corner? First of all, how the hell you let White Taylor Lautner punk you into telling your true scam? You don't know how to scam, buddy. You have no idea what you're doing because all the men get together because they feel like he is manipulative and he's saying whatever Katie wants to hear. Listen, if Katie don't know that this man is scamming after she had that sit down with him and asked him to, to share, because he said that he had a lot of things that he needed to share. Up to now, he hasn't shared anything, right? When he sat down in the sharing circle, he had all this stuff that he wanted to share. He had all these things that he needed to uncover. Didn't share anything. Nobody knows what he said. He talked around in a whole circle. Then he sat down with Katie and he talked around in another circle. She even asked him, she said, you did say you had a lot of things to share. What are they? And he's, I love, beautiful. I'm falling. Things are happening. And then he leaves. Katie still don't have her answer. So then he realizes that he has, messed up and is probably going home. He walks back, does the same thing, but this time he kisses her. Now Katie is like, oh, you're so passionate. I feel, your passion. Mama, you ovulating. You don't feel no passion from this man. There is nothing that he has said to get you to this point where you feel like something is happening between the two of you. Stop it. It's not your heart, it's your coochie. Anyway, after, she sits down with him, the men are like, we got to get him out of here. We got to get him out of here because he's making leeway with Katie, but we know that he has ill intentions. So White Taylor Lautner, puts him in a corners him. First of all, I feel like White Taylor Lautner, I feel like he knew he messed up when he said in his confessional that he was going to confront him. Because when it came time to confront him, White Taylor Lautner was sweating. He was sweating. He finally spoke up in his little mousy voice and said something. And Thomas was just, Thomas was like, oh no, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to take her away from you. And before I move on, let's just stop right here. This is another storyline we have to retire from on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. We have to retire this. Oh, I couldn't get time with her because you took her away from me, or she spent so much time on this that we didn't have time to go speak to her. Beat up the producers. Do whatever you have to do. If they are not allowing you to talk to her, body slam them and go and talk to your woman. If you love her so much, if you're falling so deeply, if this is the one that you came on this show for, do what you got to do to go talk to her. I'm so sick of every season. I didn't get a chance to talk to. What's wrong with your feet? What's wrong? What's wrong with your voice? You can't say, excuse me, can I talk to you? We can't see the behind the scenes, right? So at this point, either pick up your damn feet and go walk over to that woman or man and have a conversation with them. Because if you don't do it, I'm telling you right now, we don't care. We do not care. We're tired. It's been 19 seasons of the same storyline. We tired. You are grown. Go up there and talk to that person. If you do not get the chance to talk to them, we don't care. We just don't. I couldn't believe it. Aaron is just getting so upset. Jude, you're lying. Jude, what, Aaron, what the hell is going on with you? Baby, you too brown to be this angry on this white show. Can we tell the truth and shame the devil? Why are you so angry? What? And yet, like one of the brownest people. Why are you so angry? I don't get you. I don't get how you're so. And Jude, don't look at me. We're not friends. No, Jude. Oh, he's a cancer. He has to be cut out today. You're not scaring nobody but them skinny white boys in the suburbs. Nobody is afraid of this. Like, what are you doing? It's just too much, Aaron. It really, because it doesn't make any sense. We are not, maybe your anger is justified, but I'm telling you right now, beloved, we never get a lead up to your anger. Every time we get to you, you are just mad and nobody knows why. Like when you were mad at that boy that allegedly was at the insurrection and had them problematic Facebook posts, we only got one scene of you turning around saying, I can't stand that dude. You are looking crazy. You are really looking crazy. I need you to get a Pop-Tart, have a Coke and a smile, and start enjoying your time here. You're always angry. And to be honest with you, as a woman, I'm a bit concerned. I'm like, you know what, Katie? Maybe this ain't the one. Because this, you got a chip on your shoulder already. It's not cute. It's not cute. You need to start enjoying yourself. I don't know what you have to do. Get a fun playlist. You know what I mean? Start skipping around the compound, wherever they have y'all at. You have to do something. Have a spa day. Do something. You are far too angry, and we are never understanding why you're so mad. He's a cancer, and he has to be cut out today. It's that deep? Like, it's really that deep with you and Thomas? You just had beef with somebody else. Now you got another problem, and it's going to seem like next week you're going to get into it with somebody else. Baby, it's you. It's you. You are the problem. We have not seen Aaron have fun once. Not a one. So far, we've had about, 3 hours of Aaron? We have not seen him smile. We have not seen him crack a joke, enjoy any of his time here. He's always ready to fight somebody in this house, and we never know why. And even if we know why, we're just like, oh, really? That's what got you here? Oh my gosh, I'm afraid of, what can take you over the edge, because it doesn't seem like it's a lot. Katie, send him home. I'm sorry, Aaron. Hopefully you do better in paradise because you are just so spicy for no reason. Listen, Thomas is a scammer, right? He's a whole fool for telling the men his plan. Oh, initially when I came here, I did think about being the bachelor. You fool. You're a whole idiot. I would have been like, no, I never thought that. I never said that. I don't know why you guys are pulling that on me. I'm falling for Katie and just let a tear fall or something. Why are you letting White, Taylor Lautner, and Trey put you in a corner and tell your truth? You a fool. They all came here to be the bachelor. You think they telling you this is their scam? They all lying and say they came here for Katie. They applied when they thought it was another chick. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Some of them are here for Katie. A lot of y'all stayed when y'all found out it was Katie. But let's be real. Y'all either trying to get to them chicks that y'all saw on Matt season in Paradise, or y'all trying to be the bachelor. Play checkers, not me. Anyway, Thomas didn't have to say anything, right? But from that conversation that Thomas had with all of the men, it still in no way, in my opinion, justifies how pissed off Aaron was. I hope you look back at this and realize that you like, is this who you really are? Ooh, no shade, but you give me ID channel. You give me ID channel. Evil lives here. Anyway, so this episode ends with Taj Mowry, also known as Thomas, letting the men know that he initially came here to scam to be the bachelor, but he doesn't feel that way anymore. You're a fool. You said it to the men and you said it on camera. You're going home. They're going to keep you around because now you have the villain at it. Another person of color is the villain on this season. Tone deaf. But here we are. Here we are. I don't know why you said anything. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I didn't feel like you were intimidated. I don't know. I don't know why you said anything, but baby, it's over for you. You're going to be the villain and you're going to go home. It is what it is. You won't be the bachelor. You're going to have to go to Paradise and redeem yourself if you get that opportunity, if the fan base doesn't hate you enough. Fumbled the bag. Another bag fumbled. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to move over into Chris Harrison's measly payout. Let's talk about it. Ooh. Where are we? I'm going to scroll up just a bit, guys. So some stuff you have already said, and you're probably on to something else, but I just want to make sure I got everybody that I can get. We're all holding out for, I never know if I'm saying his name right. Is it Bayo or Bao? We're all holding out for him. We all. That's my bachelor. That's my bachelor. Sophia, see, that better not. That is the bachelor. Who else? Who else in that house could possibly be the bachelor? It's him. Taylor said, I'm in the minority about Abigail. I do want hot dad to get a wife and Andrew to let me pull up on him. Yes. Yes, Taylor. Yes. That's right, Irene. We got to start it now. Hot dad for the bachelor. Kaya. If that baby walk out with that ring, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. He is Shadia. Shadia said he's funny, charismatic, good looking, proper, ready to settle down. We will get results with this man. ABC, Disney, Mike, please. Like, we will get results with him. And this, I feel like this pick will go back to the Bachelor's roots, right? I just, he has to do it. Amirio, yeah. I think I'll be more comfortable in 2022 anyway. So I'll definitely start planning that if he's the bachelor. I'm not doing it for one of them bachelors that they're gonna pull out of there behind. I'm not doing that. No, I'm only pulling out all the stops for hot dad. Macy said, I'll bring the snacks. You know what? After briefly reading Rachel's article, I don't want to be a producer. Child, they be putting y'all through. I will gladly be a consultant for this show. I will gladly be a consultant for this show all the housewife shows. The only show that I think doesn't need me right now is BET's Encore. Carlos King knows what the hell he's doing. Bravo, y'all let that man go. I'm telling you, that man about to Tyler Perry you like Tyler Perry did to the entertainment industry. He about to be the Tyler Perry of reality TV. Just watch. Just watch. Y'all say whatever y'all want about Tyler Perry. I'm letting y'all know right now. The entertainment industry is shook by that man's presence. Shook. They can't believe it. Y'all better stay woke. Carlos King about to do the same damn thing for reality TV. Oh, Cameron, if it happens, I'm telling y'all now, if after this he gets picked for The Bachelor, we're having a watch party. We're having it is happening, okay? Happening. Donna said, he's not hot, but Michael is very cute. I really like him, and because of Nikki, I cannot unsee him looking like Rick Moranis. He is a hot Rick Moranis is, hot. But see, I like hot. Hot to me comes in waves. You know what I mean? Like there's like initially just like good looking hot, right? And then there's just like sweet and, funny and, wealthy. Oh gosh. I love when that happens, Melissa. Imagine Thomas came prepared to be the Bachelor and hot dad got it. I love it. Oh, shoot. What's going on? My internet is connected. Ciao. Yeah, my internet is fine. I love when that happens because you can see the people who are auditioning and then you can just see the people who are there for the real deal. That's what I felt about Abigail. I felt like Abigail really, like a lot of the girls really came there for Matt. A lot of those women really wanted to be there for Matt. I think that Abigail was one of them and she just got, I don't know. They just pushed her to the side because they knew that Matt was into Rachel, who I think he was in connections with before the season. I absolutely believe that. I don't know. I was just like, please don't tell me that you are that intimidated by White Taylor Lautner. The dude whose voice was shaking when he had to confront you. That's the dude that got you shaking in your boots so much that you have to admit your scam? The math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing. Me too, Donna. Donna said they need to come up with something new. I'm getting sick and tired of the same freaking storylines. It's like we see it happening. We see it happening every season, and it's just like, guys, 19 seasons of the same storyline. Can we say lazy? Y'all got to give us something new. And I told you, I said, especially now, since you're competing with outside people, a lot of people, a lot of America, a lot of, people in general have been inside. Some of us have actually like quarantined and done what we needed to do. And if you weren't doing that, there are a lot of things that were closed to you anyway. So, you know what I mean? So a lot of things are opening now, people are able to see people and go out and dine and walk mask free. Not me, but some people are doing that. You have to have something very interesting to keep me inside. I'll stay inside for BET's Encore. Every other show, I'm not sure. But BET's Encore, oh, I'll be there. I can't miss that moment, right? Like that's what you want people to want to feel about your show. This season, you gave us the same formula that you gave us before a pandemic. It's not going to work. You have to evolve. You have got to evolve. And we also have to do something about the host. Listen, I know y'all love Caitlyn. I know y'all love Tay. I love them both, right? We're going to have to pick one because they come in at random times and you're like, oh, I forgot there's hosts. Wait, there's two as well. They gotta figure out the flow. I say let's give it another season to see how we can better utilize the host. If y'all can't do two, we're going to have to pull an American Idol and give us the one that we are connected to the most, because that isn't working for me either. I was like, when they came in and talked to Katie, I was like, oh yes, they are still here. It's giving me Chris Harrison last season after he defended Sundown Town Rachel. after that, he was like popping in at weird times. And you were like, oh, I forgot. Chris Harrison didn't leave. They just edited him out of the show. It's weird. It's weird. Taylor said, thank you. I never understand how Greg got to pull her aside, right? When she said she wanted to be alone, but then the men just stayed there and nagged. I will say this, Taylor. I had to watch it again because I did not see Greg leave. Greg like shot out of there. He snuck because no, the men didn't turn around to see him. I didn't see him until he was sitting down talking to Katie. I was like, how the hell did he get here? Wait, and then I rewound it back and I was like, oh, okay, this is where he left. I didn't see that. I did not see that. So I'm thinking that the producers or, you know, whoever was filming didn't see that either until it happened. And that's the thing that bothers me, right? Aaron is getting angrier and angrier as he gets darker and darker and hotter and hotter. The darker Aaron gets, the hotter he gets. Listen, he's fine in his own skin. But when, you know, when that tan start hitting, he gonna kill on Paradise. But he has to work on his anger. He has to work on his anger. Somebody said, Donna loves her so some Justin. Justin, also known as I'll Be Sure. Oh, God. Yeah, I just don't understand Aaron. Right, Caitlin? Who is the villain here? Is it Aaron? Is it Carl who's now going? Is it Taj Mowry who's like, you know, getting the edit as well? Aaron is the only one giving me like edit teagues, but then they're not. I don't understand. I don't get it. What is going on with him? It's such a weird edit that this guy has because he has the villain edit, but he's not the villain. I'm confused. I'm confused. This is too much Macho Man for me. I'm catching up. So Pharisee, right there with you. Sick of the recycled storylines. Hold on, I think I got 2 super chats. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, let me acknowledge my super chats. Hey Angela, thank you so. Oh, all right, got it. Hey Angela, thank you so much for the super chat. Angela said, "Hot dad can work. Jason didn't ask for the moon when he became the Bachelor. Emily Maynard did, and they filmed in her hometown. It can happen. It can happen. I'm here for it. I'm here for Hot Dad as a Bachelor." Every time. Thank you, Angela. I got another super chat from, I believe, SL. I was right. Hey, SL, love you. SL said Trista should have been the host. Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that? But I will say, I don't know who, but one of you said that Trista is taking care of her husband who was going through an illness. That girl, she goes through it. Trista goes through it. Keep her in your prayers. Keep Trista in your prayers. Hey, Heather. Heather said, I think Caitlin would be better than Tasia since she's been around longer and more people know her. See, I don't know, because I only know Tay-Tay, so I'm going to be rooting for Tay-Tay. But who knows? Who knows? They got to do better. I will say, if y'all can, I don't know Caitlin, but if y'all can, go over to her comment section and show her some love, because I saw something where she had put up a video or something she had retweeted that people were making fun of her, how she looks. A lot of people were saying she looks really bad. She looks old. She looks different. And she was just like, well, I aged and I had some things done to combat that. And it's just like, and a lot of it was from women. I just don't understand women who are not kind to other women, especially when it comes to things regarding age, love, fertility. It's just like, it's just so awful, right? It's really awful. It's just so dark because it cuts so deep. And why it's so dark coming from another woman is because right? You know what we go through. Why would you inflict that same harm on another woman? I guarantee you the same women that were talking about her looks and how she's aging and they said she looked bad and all that stuff, feel the same way about something concerning them, right? Hate something about them that they wish that they could change, or have had comments like that directed towards them. Why the hell are you doing it to another woman? We down bad. We are down bad as a species. My God, today we need help. 911. 911. Hey, Nasby. Nasby said, I think producers were maybe fearful of losing more of their audience if they went with Tasia, especially after all of the hate that Rachel L was getting because of Chris Harrison, plus Rachel K. Rachel is sensitivity drama. I agree. Because I said I was going to say that, but I was just like, I'm so exhausted of talking about race. But I absolutely agree. Like, I think if anything, they would have gave it to Tasia, but because of what's going on with the fan base right now, they brought in Caitlyn as well to be, no shade, a white buffer, right? So I'm okay with them staying on together as hosts. I think they need to incorporate them more so that we can get a feel of them, so that we can, craft a relationship with them like we all did with Chris Harrison. And then at some point, they're gonna have to give us one, because right now there's literally no reason for two hosts. No reason. It doesn't make any sense. It really, really doesn't. Oh, goodness. Love by You said, Nikki, for the third week in a row, the ratings fell. I think no one cares, because you can predict what's probably going to happen every episode. If you watch this show for, any of the 19 years, you know what's going to happen. Y'all made this show so predictable, it's not interesting anymore. I'm going to need a cliffhanger to keep me in the house. I'm going to need something unexpected to keep me out of them streets. I know what's going to happen every season. I know what's going to happen every season. Soprano 2, I believe it and I receive it. Hey, Maisie. Maisie said it's awful. Everyone gets older, so why does everyone act so surprised when a woman ages? Yeah. It's just so terrible. It's so, like, the fact that she had to do a video, then the fact that she also had to tell people about what she got done, and I got injections, I got Botox, I got a brow lift. Why does she have to do that? To appease you? I hate that she didn't have to do it, but I hate the fact that she felt the need to do that, because so many people were making a comment about her face. It's unfair. Thank you, Caitlyn. I feel better now. 55 days till Bachelor in Paradise. Aaron, you better be nicer on that damn beach. You better be nicer on that beach, because, baby, the way you have been acting on this show. Love by You said, so maybe Blake coming in saves the season. Well, it seems like Aaron's going to hate his presence too. I can't. Hey, Sunshine Roberts, are we related? How are you? Says there is too many spoilers out. Why would people watch when they know what happens? I said that as well. I was just like, they got to get a hold of Reality Steve. I don't understand how this show does not have a hold on him by now, because he's like spoiling your show. And no shade to Reality Steve. Like, this is his job. Eat boy, eat boy, Nikki. Oh my God, to catch myself. Do what you got to do to eat, bro. I'm not hating. But it's just like, you already know what's going to happen. One, because of the predictable storylines, but also because, Reality Steve is giving everybody the heads up. So nobody's going to watch until the women tell all, or the men tell all. Like, because that's something where it's just like you can't really predict everything that's going to happen there. So unfortunate. Sarah said, it may seem harsh, but I also think that people aren't interested in keeping up with Katie's journey. Oh, yeah, that's very obvious. Everybody said that when she was picked, and even when there was mumblings about her being the Bachelorette. Yes.
Yeah, I have to take you off of that.
Why?
You have to sign up. Today you have to take your test.
My COVID test?
Yes, and you have to sign up for it.
I have to take it today?
Yes.
They told me I have to take it at the fitting.
Well, they sent an email.
Really? Okay, let me check my email. Are you sure, Mom?
Yes, and I don't want to have this conversation.
Yeah. Okay, let me just. The only reason why I'm saying that because I already responded to everything. I didn't get anything new. All right, let me wrap this up and I'll get off.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You responded to what?
Yeah, I already did this.
Did you find a location and a time? It's telling you to find a location.
Okay. My mom is wrapping me up. Sorry. Real life is getting in the way. Let's get to Chris Harrison so I can get out of here. Let's get to Chris Harrison and to Rachel. Sorry about that. Welcome to my live. Welcome to my live. Oh shoot. Why did I go all the way? I have all of these things open. I gotta delete these things. Anyway, yeah, she's gone now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If if you watched my last live, you know what's going on. What's up, Chad? How are you? All right, let's talk about Chris Harrison because I'm getting wrapped up. We're gonna talk about Chris Harrison, then we're gonna jump into Rachel. I will love by you. I will. Let's get into Chris Harrison. I have to take a COVID test before I show up to set, so that's how that's going. What the hell? Ooh. Let's get to this Variety article. The only reason why I wanted to talk about this is because remember when we had that whole conversation about what we thought his payout was going to be? I was actually very shocked. And I don't know why it's not coming up. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm not on I am on my Wi-Fi. So I don't know what's going on. In their defense, you came in here and started talking about it on live. No, you could have pulled me aside to have that conversation. No, you didn't. Let me pull it up on my computer. Because ain't nobody going to talk about my subscribers. The devil is a liar. Chris Harrison. Oh, God. What the hell? Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get it on my phone, but my phone won't open the article. And that's bothering me. So I wanted to read it from my computer, and my face is going to look weird, and I apologize. So on February 9th, everything changed for Chris Harrison. The Bachelor host sat down with Formula Bachelorette star on Rachel Lindsay on Extra and asked a simple question about the Bachelor winner, Rachel Kirkconnell, whose former plantation party photos resurfaced on social media. Nat, I still can't get over that, right? I get that, your mom is white. I understand. I don't. I don't know. I couldn't understand that. But I couldn't understand the dichotomy that you live in, right? But it's just you are in a relationship with somebody who was at plantation parties. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway, as the situation exploded, a backlash over social media. The interviews were beginning a domino effect that will ultimately derail the veterans host 19-year tenure with the ABC franchise. Multiple insiders tell Variety that Harrison participated in an interview with with his own volition, but was never requested by a network or studio publicist to sit down for these press opportunities. So this is something that he decided to do. So Chris Harrison decided to talk about Rachel Kirkconnell. Nobody asked him to do this. Oh God. Let's talk about a fumble bag. When Lindsay asked a par for the course question about Kirkconnell, the extra correspondent did not push Harrison to elaborate, and she wasn't expecting Harrison to dive in, but he did head first, and it was a crash landing. After the interview aired, Lindsay was stunned by Harrison's response and was expecting a canned response, and she felt like she could not get a word in. On her Higher Learning podcast, she confirmed that no publicist accompanied Harrison during the interview and said that he talked over and at me. And Lindsay also recalled that he wasn't trying to hear it. He was just trying to be heard. Ivan Hall, a contestant. I'm just skipping through. Ivan Hall, a contestant from Tayshia Adams' season. We all know. Ivan, who garnered praise for his episode about Black Lives Matter, said in the media interview that he would not participate in another season if Harrison was on board. But somehow everybody is coming after Rachel when there were a lot of people, a part of Bachelor Nation, who said that they would no longer participate in the show or anything concerning Bachelor Nation if Chris Harrison was a part of it. But for some reason, Rachel Lindsay is taking all of the attacks. Going forward, I honestly don't know how this will all shake out, Ivan said. But for myself, for example, if they have future shows and if they were to ask me to be on Bachelor in Paradise or something like that, and I'm sure a lot of other contestants feel this way as well, I wouldn't feel comfortable if Chris was there, to be quite frank. In early June, Variety published a report that Harrison will not be returning to host The Bachelor in Paradise and will be replaced by a slew of rotating celebrities, including David Spade, Titus Burris. But that his overall future status with the franchise will remain in limbo. Within a matter of days, Harrison had reached a legal agreement to depart the franchise on his own accord. Part of the agreement Harrison's side included the public statement of an amicable parting of ways, which is typical in most high-profile Hollywood departures. Despite previous reports, Harrison did not walk away with a substantial 8-figure payout. Two individuals familiar with the negotiations say that the host got $9 million plus remaining contractual fees, which brought his total exit package to roughly $10 million, about the same paycheck he would have made from 2 years of work, as his contract was said to be around $5 million a year. Chris, you were making peanuts. However, just like any Bachelor breakup, the parting of ways is civil, at least on the surface, or according to legal paperwork. While Harrison's sugar-coated announcement of his departure appears to be harmonious, at closer look, the former host fails to thank the studio or network while making sure to extend his gratitude to the fans. I've had a truly incredible run as the host of the Bachelor franchise, and now I'm excited to start a new chapter, Harrison said in a statement last week. I'm so grateful to Bachelor Nation for all of the memories we've made together. While my 2-decade journey is wrapping up, this friendship I've made will last a lifetime. I want to say I am really shocked that he was making $5 million a year. 19 years on one of the big 3 networks, and you were making $5 million a year for The Bachelor, Bachelorette, and Bachelor in Paradise, and then you get a payout of $10 million. We were giving him more credit. I thought that at least Harrison was making $20 million a year. That is embarrassing. I'm really shocked by that. He was making $5 million a year, guys, for 3 TV shows on a big 3 network. I'm telling you, ABC was getting billions from this show. Because The Bachelor, Bachelorette, and Bachelor in Paradise is global. $5 million. I'm sorry. Peanuts. And they paid him peanuts. That's insane. That is insane. I'm I'm so shocked. 19 freaking years. Pat Sajak makes more. Wait, but Pat Sajak, hasn't he been on since the 70s? I don't know. But I just think that's so weird. Like, you would know 19 seasons? 19 seasons? Chris, who are you? Who's your agent? Who are you rep by? There's no way that you should have been making that little bit of money for what you do and for how long you've been on that show and for the, like, you were the face. Wow. Anyway, wow. I'm very shocked. They pay him $10 million. Chris, what the hell you do? What did you do? Can I just say, I'm going to be that Black person. I think the way Chris should have been fired. I think what happened was that Chris doesn't know how to apologize. I think what he did afterwards, I think it just, he made the waters muddy. And when the waters get muddy, the network backs out, right? Initially, I think that if he just would have came out with the proper apology right after it happened, I think it would have been fine. Unfortunately, I think he listened to his team and didn't say anything. And at the time that he didn't speak, other people spoke, and it became so big that by the time he spoke, it just wasn't good enough. And it just wasn't authentic or real. And then when he sat down with Michael Strahan with that, hostage apology that he gave, dude, you would have still had your job. An apology, a sincere apology goes a long way. Not just an apology, repentance, right? Apologizing, changing your behavior, not doing those things again, educating, donating to the right places. There were so many things he could have done to keep that measly paycheck. Measly. $5 million. Oh, Chris, none of this should have happened. None of the, why nobody even told you to get up there and talk about this controversy. Why did you do it? Nobody instructed you. You just showed up to the extra set. It was like, let's talk about plantation parties. What were you on? You should have went to rehab, like I told you. I told you to go to rehab. Nobody listens to me. Now you out of your measly $5 million. $5 million, 19 seasons. The devil is a liar. 19 seasons, you the face of the show and you get $5 million a year for 3 shows? Who the hell were your agents? Who were you rep by? That does not make any sense. I'm telling y'all right now, guys, that don't make no sense. No sense. That is he's doing 3 shows a year. Who was your lawyers? Poor guy. Poor guy. Poor guy. I thought you was getting like at least $20 million a year. I thought your severance pay would have at least been up to $20 million. $5 million a year, and you got $10 million to shut up and never talk about this network again. And you will never work for ABC that's owned by Disney, so you never gonna work for Disney. Oh, you know what? You got to show up to Rachel's house. You can't beat her up, but you got to fight her daddy. You got to fight somebody in that family. My God, today. My God, today. We got to move on. But I'm just so shocked. I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked. Oh, oh my God. No, this is my zit patch. I put these on whenever I have zits. And for some reason, I always get a zit right here. Oh, yeah. I just want to let y'all know, guys, I'm not cosplaying as Sailor Moon and I'm not being offensive. Oh, shoot. Do I have another one? Wait. Is that a... Hold on. Oh, that's not a zit. Child, but yeah, I got a zit. And I'm not showing up to set with no zits. Okay. But I will be showing up to set with my own hair and makeup. Done. I'm not playing with them. I'm far too chocolate for this industry. They don't know what the hell they do to do with our faces. I'm not going to have them play me. I will be ready. I will be ready. All right, let me see what y'all have to say, and then we will move on to Rachel. Right, Melissa, now that we know the truth, what the hell are they paying Rachel and Caitlyn? Because if Chris Harrison is getting that after 19 seasons, I can't believe this show will not open their purse. What? What are they paying the leads of the Y'all need to band together. Now that this information is out there, y'all need to band together and get some money. Because this show is making it. This show is making some good coin off of y'all. You know what? Let me shut up. I'm sorry, ABC. I'm sorry, Disney. I mean that. I be forgetting sometimes. Hey, Malak said, it's so weird to me that recent contestants put out that BIPOC statement, but are still friends with Rachel and continue to hang out with her. It's all performative. It's all performative. They saw a moment and they wanted attention. And then they said, after the damage was done, then it was just like, hey, plantation party girl, you want to go out for drinks in New York City? Performative. Hey, Love by You. Love by You said that's really not at all the point. That's really not out. But I knew that because his house is very humble and he doesn't really have any flashy things. I'm just really shocked. I'm just $5 million. Remember, we thought he was getting $20 million a season? I thought he was at least getting maybe at least $5 million per show. You're getting $5 million for 3 shows on network TV? Okay. Nas B said that's why Chris Harrison has all them extra jobs and businesses on the side. Man turned author, had a beverage company, and started to step in new lanes with wedding and jewelry for men. Poor guy. I can't believe I'm saying that about Chris Harrison, but I had no idea. I had no idea that you weren't making any money on that show. 10 million. What the hell? Guys, $10 million is a lot of money to us. That's not a lot of money to Chris Harrison and, these people who live these kind of lifestyles. That's peanuts. Hey, Taylor. Taylor said Pat is on The Daily Show. There's no comparison, LOL. But is on a daily show. But you're right. But I at least thought he was getting $5 million per show a year. That just proves the host's job isn't needed or respected. If you're only for 19 seasons, right? If you're only paying him $5 million, again, let me shut up. Tried to catch myself. Hey, Momi said he's going to have to switch to those. I didn't want to say it. I hope he doesn't do that. Please don't go full Kelly Dodd, Chris Harrison. Please don't do it. But where are you going to work? CBS will pick you up. I think CBS will pick you up. Damn, $5 million. They could triple the money ABC was giving him. That's if he doesn't care about being the talent on a liberal network again. I'm telling you right now, Chris Harrison is not getting more than $5 million for any other network. Y'all have to realize that's what Chris Harrison was getting after 19 seasons. He's going to have to start from scratch again. Not from scratch, but he's going to have to negotiate up to that $5 million a year. He's going to have to negotiate back up to that. He was getting that because of seniority. I thought he was getting a lot more money than that. Wow. Seven Lily said Jason Tartick said they were offering Jason Blake Colton in the region of $50 to $100K for the lead. The money comes from outside opportunities. Oh, I had no idea that there was not a lot of money in the Bachelor Nation because it's such a huge show. I thought it would be more money, but again, I'm not saying anything against ABC or Disney. If that's what you want to pay your talent, who am I to judge? Hey, Nasby said Chatty Broads had checked and saw that he was likely making a good amount from Cameo. Prior to this drama, of course, because he charged a good little bit for Cameo. What the hell is going on? What in the hell is going on? What in the hell is going on? Love by You. ABC, that's what she said. That ain't me. Hey, Caitlin. Caitlin said, did you see the football player that came out? Colton's about to be all over him. Yeah, you know what I loved about that? He came out and nobody cared. That's how it needs to be. He came out and it was like, oh, okay, great. What are you having for breakfast? That's how it needs to be. Okay. They are in them podcast streets. Book a cameo. Me and Chris Harrison in the same job. My God, today, what is going on? Anyway, let's get into Rachel. If I can open it, what in the hell is going on? You know what? Let me try Google because maybe it's Safari acting up. Let me try Google. Child, I am verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. I thought that man was getting 19 seasons. 19 seasons? Yeah, shout out to the replay gang. Oh, it's something going on. Is it my connection? Anyway, we're going to have to read it from the computer. My face is going to look crazy. It is what it is. Rachel. Did I have to get out of here? Rachel Lindsay, Vulture. First of all, so let's talk about this, right? Rachel Lindsay's Vulture article. First things first, she hated the title. She hated the title. She came out. She wrote a statement about it on her page. Hold on, let me bring that up. This is her statement. Let me take my banner off. She said, I worked with New York Magazine very closely on a cover feature where I was given the opportunity to tell my story and share my experience with the Bachelor franchise. It was deeply personal, but I felt it was important to share. While it was very collaborative, while it was a very collaborative experience, they decided to misrepresent me with the headline that was chosen for the cover. Those are not my words, nor are they a reflection of how I feel. In fact, it is in a stark contrast to the context of the piece. For me, it was very disappointing and disrespectful that the very notion I was trying to refute was used against me by the publication for a clickbait headline. My truth and my thoughts are told on the inside of the magazine, which I am very proud of and hope you all read. Then her man, hey, Brian, wrote this. Very disappointed with the editors of New York Mag who chose that headline for Rachel's piece. You tried to relegate, oh, come on, a Black woman's insightful and honest truth into clickbait. Totally unprofessional. Do better. I love you, Rachel Lindsay. Let me tell you something. She picked good. I'll be the first one to admit. Remember we all wanted her to be with Peter? I'm telling you, what it was for me was that Hobbit house, right? Remember, she was in that Hobbit house with him crying. Her lashes are coming off. She's, they're going back and forth crying about will he propose and all that stuff. I was like, this is true love. Like, this is it. And when she got with Brian, I was like, girl, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? I'm glad you followed your heart. Because, girl, it's a husband. It's a husband. It is a husband. The way he protects her, I love it. I love it. Wait a minute. I thought it was Vulture. It's New York Mag. Let me make sure I got the right article. Hey, thank you, Lachelle. Thank you, my love. What you say? What does Lachelle say? Oh, for yesterday's booking. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is the same thing. This is the same thing, the same pictures. Okay, it's Vulture. Okay. I didn't know that New York Magazine was Vulture. Here we go. Had no idea. Before we get into it, these are the pictures from that interview. Stunning. Stunning. Yes, legs. Yes, legs. Come on, Nels. Stunning. Absolutely loved it. Stunning. And this is the title that she had an issue with. Rachel Lindsay has no roses left to burn. I get why she would be upset about that because it seems like she's coming for everybody when she was really just telling her truth. I really got to get out of here. They are hitting me up about this test. My God, today is 1:21 in the afternoon. Why weren't you hitting me up at 9? But let me stop. Hey, and thank you, Lord, for the opportunity. Let's read this interview. Rachel Lindsay has no roses left to burn. I knew my relationship with The Bachelor was over in February 2021 when Chris Harrison, the host and the face of the franchise, who was only getting paid $5 million a year for 3 shows, showed his true self on national television. I had been a full-time correspondent on Extra since the previous summer, regularly recapping The Bachelor as a part of the job. So when there was a chance to speak to Chris about a recent controversy, it was obvious I'd be the one to do it. He patched in from his office, ever the host, sitting in one of his trademark casual suits in front of a mantle of Bachelor memorabilia, including a bobblehead of himself. Baby, you better put them on eBay. What are your thoughts about Rachel Kirkconnell and the allegations attached to her? I asked. A simple question about a situation that was anything but. Weeks prior, Kirkconnell, the soon-to-be winner of Matt's James season, was revealed to have attended an Antebellum-themed plantation party fraternity formal in 2008. There were no photos. Nobody had made a statement. Not Rachel, not Chris. There were photos. Nobody had made a statement. Not Rachel, not Chris, not the network. I wanted to know how the franchise felt now that one of the final 4 contestants on the first Black Bachelor was engulfed in a race controversy. I wanted someone to acknowledge it. Chris says we all need to have a little grace, a little understanding, a little compassion, because I have seen some stuff online. Again, this judge by jury executioner thing where people are just tearing this girl's life apart and diving into it like her parents' voting record, Harrison said. The woke police out there. You fumbled that measly bag. He wasn't defending Rachel. He repeated over and over again during the 15-minute segment in which he essentially did just that. If I had gone to that party, I asked him, what would I represent? He told me that 15 million people had attended a party. He told me that 50 million people had attended a party like this. I maintained that attending such a party was not a good look, to which he responded, it's not a good look in 2018, or is it not a good look in 2021? That's when you lost your job. As if things could have been considered racist in 2018, he called for sympathy for this poor girl, Rachel. He said all of this with a passion I had never seen him assert, and neither I think had America. We had only seen Chris Harrison perform as a host. This was like catching him with a hot mic. It sure as hell was. I wouldn't say that Chris and I were friends exactly. When you're the Bachelorette, you're traveling with him, sitting in hotels and airports. There's a lot of hurrying up and waiting, and he's the one you do it with. During my season and after, he became someone who gave me advice on how to navigate the show and the celebrity of it. I called him my fairy godfather. We had our highs and lows, but there had been mutual respect until this interview. I felt disrespected, but I maintained my composure because I had to. 3 days later, after Chris issued an apology for Bachelor Nation and to me, I accepted it. I went on Higher Learning, the Ringer podcast I co-host with Van Lathan. I couldn't maintain my composure anymore. I was exhausted, I said, and I needed to step away from the franchise. It's funny to think that in 2018, when it was still acceptable for Rachel K to attend a racist fraternity party, it had only been 1 year since I became the first Black lead, male or female. In the 16-year, 34-season history of the show in 2018, I felt like I had changed the franchise just by representing myself as a Black professional woman in her 30s. Those things had never been before seen on the series. In the years since, I have gone from a former contestant who advocated for more diversity to one who spoke critically about the show and tried to hold those involved with it accountable. By the time the segment with Chris aired, I was known as the contestant who was always starting trouble. That Rachel Lindsay, the one who couldn't stay quiet, who bites the hand that feeds her, Bachelor Nation's public enemy #1. Later, I will be known as the one responsible for Harrison's eventually leaving of the franchise. He announced his departure earlier this month with a reported 8-figure settlement. Lies, okay? He left there with an EBT card and a pat on the back. And if he spends all of that, I'm sure the fans will somehow blame me too. Recently, during the drama with Matt's season, I listened to an earlier episode of Bachelor Happy Hour, another podcast I co-hosted. I was surprised to hear myself having fun because now I sound as tired as I am. After 100 episodes, I announced my departure from the podcast. I'm exhausted from defending myself against a toxic fandom. Preach. I've often wondered if it felt like a 180 to the franchise when I became its biggest critic. As my sorority sister would put it, you played the part, and when you were done, you called them racist with your whole chest. After all, they had cast me to be on paper. It made sense. I couldn't be like the Bachelorettes who had come before me. Somebody who was still living at home with her parents, who had pageant queen on her resume. I was a lawyer. Ooh. You were getting them together. My father was a federal judge. I had a squeaky clean record. I had to be a good Black girl and an exceptional Black girl. I had to be someone the viewers could accept. I was a token until I made sure I wasn't. Clear them. The thing is, the day I went on the show, I didn't wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to start standing up for myself. I was taught at a very young age to speak up about injustices. It was no different with Bachelor Nation, and I don't think they ever saw it coming. Girl, they didn't. They didn't. When I first went on The Bachelor as a contestant, I wasn't looking for love. I was open to it. But what I wanted was a way to escape reality. I was 31 years old and I had achieved everything I wanted career-wise. I was working for a great law firm in Dallas, but I didn't feel fulfilled. I had just come out of a 5-year relationship with a guy I thought that I would be with forever. He ended things so nonchalantly. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I felt completely insignificant. I was running around wild every night looking for someone to see me. In 2016, 2 white coworkers came into my office and told me I should do the show. I had never watched it before. All I knew about it was that Black people don't go far. And something about roses, they said. Rachel, if you do it, you'll go far. I started to think, why not? For the first time, I had no expectations in life. I auditioned in June, and I had my final interview in August. I knew then that they wanted me. I walked into a one-on-one with a producer who said, who is your ideal person? Who would your parents love to see you with? Barack Obama, I replied. They were like, you know what? No more questions. Let's move you to the next interview. I walked into another room and it was a sea of people. Nobody was Black. In front, there were 3 chairs, 2 for the executive producers and 1 for me. The first thing one of them said, so you're Black. As you can see, we've had a really hard time casting people like you. I thought we would have to talk about that later, I replied, but let's talk about it now. I don't watch your show because we aren't represented. It's not for us. What I was saying didn't scare them. You should tell your job about the show, they said. They were telling me I was going to be cast. I said, yes, it was the first time in my life I felt like I was flying, that I had done something that veered from the straight and narrow. I accepted without knowing who the Bachelor that season would be. When they announced that it was Nick Viall, my coworker said, this is amazing. He's open-minded. He's interested in people of color. But isn't it sad they had to make that disclaimer? He had just gone on the franchise spinoff Bachelor in Paradise, and he had expressed interest in meeting Jubilee Sharp, who was Black. I thought, oh, I don't know who these people are. So I decided to watch the previous season starring Ben Higgins. Ben's was the 20th season of The Bachelor, 20 seasons of the same white male leads, and mostly white contestants vying for true love. But I like Ben. I like the way he handled relationships. He made the women feel appreciated. I didn't like the cattiness of the women. I didn't like the way they were treating Jubilee. Watching it, I started crying. I thought, I don't like the dates. This is cheesy. My friends are going to laugh at me. I'm not going to have any respect in the legal field. I almost pulled out. I called the girl who had signed me up and said, I cannot do this. They said, Rachel, you'll be fine. You signed a contract. You have to do it. Woo! Days before I went on the show, I called my ex. I was hoping he'd tell me not to go. He said, well, don't say my name. I thought, oh my gosh, this man wants nothing to do with me, and I'm still looking for anything from him. Maybe 24 hours later, he texted me, you don't honor the sanctity of marriage. You're not who I thought you were. He was trying to shame me into not doing it. It was just what I needed to hear to motivate me to go further. One thing The Bachelor gives you, the ability to cut yourself off from everything, your phone, your TV, internet. You're left with your own thoughts and desires. On the first night, the women exit their cars to greet The Bachelor in front of the mansion. They did my hair Texas big. I had to go back to my room and comb it down. The life of a Black woman on network TV. The producers came by and asked, what dress are you wearing? I said, I want to wear this green dress. They encouraged me to wear red. When the season came out, 15 of us were wearing red, and it became a storyline. I asked them if I should have a gimmick, and producers responded, I'm going to be honest with you. We tell people to do that. We tell people to do that who we think may not survive the first night. Okay. That evening, I got the first impression rose, which is awarded to the contestant on night one. Nick walked out with it. I moved over because I thought he was going to give it to a woman sitting next to me. Then he said, Rachel. Later, I turned to another contestant, Dominique, and asked, has a Black girl ever gotten the first impression rose? She said, girl, no, never. I started to get paranoid. I was going around to producers asking who told Nick to give this to me? What's going on here? One of them finally said, Rachel, he gave it to you because he wanted to. Accept it. Oh, there's so much in there, but we have a lot to get through. But it's a lot to unpack in that. Because I got the rose, I felt seen, I felt heard, I felt liked. I instantly fell for the fairy tale. The other contestants were saying, you're going to at least be top 5. It started to sink in that no Black contestant had ever gone that far. When I got back to my room, I was in a daze. I laid on the bed holding the rose and thought, oh my gosh, this is really happening. Child, The Bachelor has mastered the connection between the in-house producers and the contestants. The producer's job is to hang out with you, to gain your trust, to get your guard to come down. Then all of a sudden, one of them will say, what do you think of Nick? What do you think what Nick's doing on his date? Let's go in a room and talk about it. But you get into a rhythm. You find your group of friends. Whitney, Astrid, and I will go downstairs before the sun came up and go to the gazebo before producers would ask what had happened the night before. We went on walks. Then they'd start having cameras follow us. So we lost that. But we were trying to find those moments to regain our sanity. The show tapes for 10 weeks. In the beginning, you're stuck in the mansion. I hated it. I always tell people it was the dirtiest place ever. Think the movie Money Pit. Once you get inside, you see the cracks in the foundation. Appliances don't work. The backyard is not complete. This is in addition to 22 women living in 3 rooms. By the time we left, my eyes were puffy. I had an allergic reaction from the lack of sleep, drinking too much, and feeling dehydrated. When another woman would leave the house for a date, you'd be so excited somebody got out, and you genuinely say, tell us about it. Where did you go? Is he a good kisser? What did he say? There was one group date where we did track and field. Alexis won the shot put, so she jumped on Nick and gave him a kiss. She ran back to her and said, he made my vagina dance. That was the kind of conversation we would have. She never felt that way again. The next time she kissed him, she said, I don't think he likes me anymore because he lizard tongued me. What? At some point, I started noticing Black women were going a long way. There were 7 of us that year. Jamie, Jasmine, and myself were in the top 10, which you hadn't seen before. We were close, but interestingly, we didn't have conversations about being Black women because we were so effed up the majority of the time. I got to be 22 again, and I fully was. We didn't talk about the issues because we were enjoying ourselves so much. We were just happy to be there, to have company, to have friendship. After the first night, I didn't think deeply about race again until there were 6 women left, and I was the Black one. We went on a trip to Bimini in the Bahamas, and things grew tense between me and Vanessa Grimaldi, the white woman who eventually won. We weren't close. This is no secret. She really liked Nick, and I did too. He and I were both older. We had deep conversations. We connected physically. We shared the sense of humor, but I was able to compartmentalize because I knew we never get married. I call him my favorite ex. Vanessa liked him so much she couldn't hear about how he kissed another woman, which let you know how deep her feelings were. As a result, she wasn't able to connect with the other women in the house. As the numbers dwindled, our issues became so obvious, the producer said, you need to talk it out. They staged a scene. I was sitting down, pretending to read a book. Vanessa came over and said, hey, can I talk to you? I look back and I see how that setup made her look like the bigger person. The first thing she said to me was, I feel like you bullied me in the house. Immediately, I felt my blackness was on display. I knew the audience was going to look at me as an angry Black female. In true lawyer fashion, I said, that's an extreme word. I'm going to need specific examples of how I bullied you. She cited things like how I didn't look in her eye during a conversation. I laughed. That's not bullying. That just means I'm probably not effing with you. She kept going. You've ostracized me in the house. I thought, no, you did that to yourself. I never raised my voice because I was aware of what was going on. When she started getting emotional, I knew this is going to be bad. She's crying. I'm not. I'm going to look cold. I knew. We did not come to any type of agreement. I am happy to say that in real life, we put our differences aside and have a great and supportive relationship. I don't think so anymore. Ciao. When it was over, I stormed out. And of course, the producer said, let's talk about that. Why not show emotion? I lost it in the interview. I was bawling. I tried to explain. You don't understand what it is to be a Black woman in a house full of white folks. And for white women to cry in your face and call you a bully. Did she call any other woman a bully? No, she picked me. One, because she knew I was a threat. Nick liked me. the second to the most. Two, I felt like she was projecting an unconscious bias onto me. I said, I hope y'all show this in its entirety. An executive producer pulled me to the side and said, this will never air. There were moments like that when they protected me. Another time, I had 2 mixed drinks and I was out of my mind, wasted. Astrid was holding back my hair in the bathroom. I drunkenly told her, you are my only real friend. They could have brought cameras in there. They didn't. I sat in the ceremony that day as Nick gave out roses, my head resting on Astrid's shoulders. My hair was disheveled. I wasn't always like that, but all it takes is one mess up. They could have taken those clips and depicted me as a wild Jezebel. They didn't, because I would never come out on top. An insider later told me that they had been thinking of me as the first Black Bachelorette way back during my audition. At that time, there had been a shift in leadership at ABC. I knew it was Channing. I knew it was her. Channing Duggan, who was a Black woman, had just taken over as president. I knew it. At the TV upfront, she said, there will be a lead of color while I'm here. I'm making it my priority. I knew it. They didn't say this part, but it couldn't be a man. A Black man going into the homes of white women and sleeping with their daughters is a narrative the audience still can't accept. We have learned. They're protecting them from that. As we saw with Matt James' season, they didn't even show him walking up with Rachel after their fantasy suite episode, during which the lead spends the night with the finalists. So it had to be a Black woman. Rachel, burn it down. To become the Bachelorette, I had to get dumped by Nick. We were in Finland for our fantasy suite episode. I made my producers take me to Victoria's Secret. I had this whole thing about being Miss Claus because we were going to Finland. I had red lingerie. I brought a mink hat. The day before had been the 2016 presidential election. I stayed up all night and watched Trump win. I ended up getting drunk on the date because I was so upset. Meanwhile, the producers were pressuring me to say I love you to Nick. I liked him, but I was not ready to express it in that way. I thought, man, I'm just going to say it so they'll leave me alone. That's how you start to feel. That night, Nick said to me the things producers that probably prepped him on as well. If you had to check your ego at the door, what would your heart say? I go, that I'm falling in love with you. I threw my hands over my face and we both started laughing. I said, let's get this over with so we can start this fantasy suite. Nick said he didn't want to sleep with any woman because he had been so sexualized on Bachelor in Paradise. We didn't get there anyway. I blacked out. Nick gave me Tylenol and carried me up the stairs. I never even made it into my Miss Claus outfit. After that, I was off the show. I was devastated, not because I had lost the love of my life, but when you're in that world for 10 weeks, that's your reality. There's one man in your life. The producers are your parents. The girls are your friends. And the moment you get a rose, the bubble pops. And the moment you don't get a rose, the bubble pops. That's the overwhelming feeling the audience witnesses when a contestant steps into limbo and speaks to the camera through tears as she has been cut. Your tears are everything you have to let go of, and everything you have to go back to. You just feel very rejected by the franchise, by the process, by the guy. 24 hours after I left Nick, my producers came to me and said, the EPs want to talk to you. We went to a coffee shop in the middle of the capital of Finland's Lapland region. I thought they were checking on my well-being, and they said, what do you think about being the Bachelorette? I didn't know that it happened so fast. That's me, not Rachel. My immediate reaction was no. I didn't want to lose my identity. I didn't want to be known as a reality TV star. I didn't want to lose respect in the workplace. Then one day back home, I went to church. It's a big Texas mega church, and we were all congratulated and we all congregated in the lobby after service on Sunday. My season of The Bachelor wasn't out yet, but someone there knew that I was on it. They said, my daughter likes the show. I'm so excited she can see someone who represents her. And if the rumors are right, you go far. I started wondering if I was looking at it the wrong way. Yes, it's a silly reality TV show, but how many people haven't seen a positive representation of a Black woman, someone who has a chance to be adored by men of all races, backgrounds, professions? I thought maybe the moment was bigger than me. The process begins with a round of interviews. You meet with the heads of the production company and network. Bachelor creator Mike Fleiss told me off the bat, you're the only person we're considering, and we never do this. Please say yes. I expressed my concerns about being the first Black lead. I talked about the fact that there were no Black people behind the camera and how I wanted that to change. I wanted them to come to me if they didn't understand something. I wanted a diverse season. I wanted it to be Black in every way. They deferred to me and asked questions. Was I comfortable with the makeup artist? How did I want my hair done? I felt like they were listening to me, so I said yes. Can a show that's built on stereotypes handle race well? It's a question that I have a stutter. Reverberated, thank you, through my season, which was the most diverse one to that point. I connected with way more of the men than I had anticipated. I met and later married the love of my life, Brian Absolo, when he started speaking Spanish. Go back to my review. I told you. When he started speaking Spanish to me on the first night, I was like, okay, we've got some flavor here. We had an immediate banter. I told you he got her with that Spanish. Still, I had expected more diversity, and I hadn't prepared for how much the casting would prioritize people who might cause drama in the house. In my case, the drama was largely centered around race. I didn't want to use the show to tear Black men down, but I was constantly put in situations where there was a little bit of that going on. For one, several Black men on my season were not into Black women. This may not seem like a big deal, but Black women can feel it when you're not into them. Or if you are, you're the worthy exception. Story of my life, dealing with colorism and being held to a European standard of beauty. The producers found that narrative fascinating. What do you mean he's not into Black women? That is not a novel concept, I said, but to them it was, which is how Will Gaskins ended up getting a one-on-one date with me. They wanted to explore the narrative of a Black woman of a Black man who barely dated any Black women. It was the worst date. He wouldn't hold my hand. He was so uncomfortable kissing me. There was music playing in the streets and he didn't want to dance with me. A producer said, you're going to have to send him home at the end of the date. We can't even edit it to make it look like he likes you. And then there was Lee Garrett. As it was reported while my season aired, his Twitter was full of hate towards Black people and other marginalized groups. He instigated fights on the show. He didn't rile up men who looked like him. It was only Black men, Kenny, Josiah, Demario, and Eric. The show used this person to play into the stereotype of an angry Black man. It didn't fully dawn on me until later because I didn't know Lee was racist during filming. As the details about him started to come out, I tried to give the show the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they didn't know. But as I reflected on it, I thought, no. Let's say the producers didn't know about the tweets. You still brought on a guy who has no experience with Black people, who was from Mississippi. You brought him on knowing he was ignorant. You brought him on to see what could happen. You can play that we didn't know he was racist card. You can play that we didn't know he was racist card, but there's no way you didn't know he would cause a problem in the house. What they did with me couldn't have been done with another lead. You're not going to bring a Black person on who doesn't like white people. It doesn't work. There's always one storyline that causes drama each season. And for their first Black lead, they allowed it to be a racist one. They chose the low-hanging fruit. It told me everything I needed to know. Things came to a head during episode 4. There is a big moment where you see me crying. It was rose ceremony night, and I was trying to figure out whom to send home. I was talking to one contestant, and I could hear Lee and Kenny arguing in the other room. I didn't have a clear perspective on what was going on, but I wanted to get rid of the drama in the house. I was thinking, I have to keep this many Black people and this many white people. And the response I got was, you can't send a Black man home. They didn't want to lose the season's sheen of diversity. That's your fault, I responded, because of how you cast this season. You didn't give me enough men of color, not just Black men, men of color. I was getting angrier and angrier. I didn't care that I was mic'd up. The fact that we had to ration the Black men was extremely upsetting. And I said, you have no idea what it feels like to be the first person representing Black people to your lily white audience. It dawned on me looking around the room that I had nobody to talk to. They had hired Black producers for my season, unlike Nick's, where there was not one. But those producers worked with the cast and the house. Nobody was with me. I love my producer, Caitlin, whom I had connected with during Nick's season, but she was white, and there were certain things she was not going to be able to understand. I told them, you are leaning on me to guide you through what it's like to handle a Black lead, and I have to be the Black lead. I have to educate y'all and navigate my system. It was the first time I had allowed myself to feel that emotion. It felt good to let it out, but it was also frustrating because I wasn't going to get any answers. And then there was a knock at my door. I thought, please do not bring Chris Harrison. Please don't let it be Chris Harrison. And who was it? I looked up and I said to him, what are you going to do? He said, everybody's here to help you. But the glaring reality was that I was alone. When I signed up, I knew I was alone. When I cried in that moment, I knew I was alone. And when I stopped crying, I knew I was alone. My tears weren't going to conjure up Black producers to help me along this journey. Those tears were for me. And then I put my big girl pants on and got over it. That was my defense mechanism pre-therapy. I went on the show in part because I wanted to depict a Black woman at the center of a love story. However, it's up to the producers to display your happy ending. I got mine in real life, but the viewers didn't. At the end of my season, you didn't understand why I chose Brian, because it was easy to get caught up in a narrative built around my runner-up, a white man named Peter Krause. Oh, we getting into it. I like Peter. There was a time in the beginning when I thought it could be him. Brian was so charming, but the viewers saw him as cheesy. He was from Miami. He was portrayed as a playboy. He told me he never felt more like Latino than when he was on the show because of the way the producers edited him and what they wanted him to talk about. Practically every time he walked in, they played Latino music. Oh my gosh. Peter, meanwhile, was the audience favorite. But if you look closely, he didn't offer anything other than being a fine physical specimen. He fit the prototype of a Bachelor Nation contestant. Because Bachelor Nation applauds mediocrity, and because he's a white man and he's attractive, there's a certain stereotypes that are placed on him that are positive. He's a good person. He has a good heart. He's from the Midwest. He works hard. My head had already started to come out of the clouds with Peter by the time of Hometowns. The episode in which the Bachelorette visits the final 4 contestants at home with their families. They don't usually like for you to meet the person's friends. They don't think the contestant takes it as seriously with the homeboys or homegirls around. But when I went to Peter's hometown, Madison, Wisconsin, the producers wanted to introduce me to his friends. We planned to meet them at a bar. I walked in and saw 2 Black men and 2 white women sitting at the table. I turned to my producer and gave her a look. I wish they had caught my face on camera. The way I turned and stared at her like, really, B? They separated us. Peter got to talk to his homeboys, and I was with the women who talked about having mixed babies and what it was like to be in an interracial couple. I couldn't believe it. I'm Black. I have interracial couples in my family. I'm old enough to understand what I'm entering and the difficulties that come with it. I felt exploited. If anything, that situation turned me off on Peter because I couldn't see myself hanging out with them. They were nice, but it was so contrived. The producers really thought, how great. All these mixed couples can come together. They were only looking at the optics of the situation. Oh, Rachel, I wish we got your real season. And that's the thing. We didn't get into the depths of what it can feel like for a Black man to date a white woman in the Midwest. We didn't get into the struggles, into how hard it is to raise biracial children. We didn't have important conversations. It was a missed opportunity, which is a theme within the franchise. Oh, this looks good, the producers think, without peeling back layers of what it means. I said to my producer, why would y'all put me in that situation? She said, we thought it would be a good storyline. They thought it would make me comfortable. It shows you how wrong they get it. They're assuming how we think rather than actually talking to the person whose real life experience it is. There wasn't a lot of drama in the house after Lee, so the narrative shifted to Peter. In the finale, Peter infamously told me he wasn't ready to propose, even though he loved me. It was difficult to break up with him. When you toy with the idea of it could be this person and you realize it's not, it's hard. But he was my ex personified, giving me enough to say, but never fully committing. I could tell he didn't know what he wanted in life, yet so much of my finale made it seem like I'd settled for Brian because Peter couldn't give me what I wanted. Publicly, I was robbed of my love story. For the After the Rose special, I sat on stage with Chris and Peter while we relegated our breakup. Peter apologized for something cruel he said at the time, that I would be settling for a life of mediocrity without him. I responded on stage by saying I was living my best life. Somehow that was twisted into a negative thing. Chris asked me if I was angry. Peter said he felt attacked by me. He became the victim in that narrative. I was sitting there seething. I knew my reputation was over in that moment. All people saw was this devastated white man. How dare this angry Black woman treat him like that when he was so remorseful about what he did? There's no denying the Bachelor franchise changed my life. It's a love-hate relationship. People ask me, do you think the show should end? I would never say that because I know too many people employed by it. But you're under contract your first year, so you feel pressure to speak about it positively. You're riding a high with your relationships and with the show. You're getting opportunities you never thought you would. When it ended, I was still hopeful I was making a difference. That role would create opportunities for more leads and better stories for people of color. The first year after my season, I went on the Bachelor Winter Games. I appeared on an episode or two to talk to new contestants. If someone asked me who should be the next lead, I would always promote a person of color. And I did notice incremental changes. In subject seasons, people of color would end up in the final rounds and were considered fan favorites. It wasn't until 2018 that I started to feel uneasy. I watched this show fall back into old patterns. I grew annoyed by Becca K season because of the way the producers chose to depict a white woman's story versus mine. She got engaged to Garrett, who had a history of liking offensive tweets. They tiptoed around it and gave him an opportunity to explain. It was if they checked off a box with me, and once they've done that, they went right back to doing what was comfortable and easy. I thought, okay, maybe I was a sacrifice, the experiment. Maybe they'll get it right for the next person of color. So when was that person coming? On Ari's season, CN was the clear front runner to be the next Bachelorette. She was a commercial real estate agent, beautiful, an ideal candidate in their eyes. They didn't pick her. I understood why the person they did pick, Becca, made sense based on the narrative of Ari's season. But in fall 2019, when they didn't pick Mike Johnson, a contestant on season 15 Bachelorette, to be the next Bachelor, I was livid. He's a veteran, and there's never been a veteran lead. He has a multi-million-dollar smile. He's handsome. He was a fan favorite. They chose someone with a pubescent haircut. Peter. Make sure you know I'm half Latino Weber. That was my breaking point. I was like, you know what? I'm going to use my platform to call out the show. Every time I spoke out about the latest BS, producers would get in touch and say, we understand your frustrations. We're trying to do better, but nothing would happen. I realized nobody but me was going to say anything. And I knew I could say these things. And I knew I could say these things with no repercussions, because what are they going to do to your first and only Black lady? In May 2020, things grew untenable. A video of former Bachelorette Hannah Brown saying the N-word surfaced. I talked to her privately. I publicly held her accountable. It became a news story at the time of George Floyd's murder. I started to get depressed watching what was happening to my community. I couldn't take 3 steps without crying. Protesting was the only thing that gave me relief. That June, I said I would begin to disassociate from the franchise if it didn't make meaningful changes. Later that month, I got a courtesy call from the executive producers of The Bachelor. It was to let me know before it was announced that Matt James will be cast as the first Bachelor. I laughed. Mighty timely of you, I said. We were living in a world where corporations posted black squares, vowed to donate money, and aligned themselves with Black Lives Matter. What you really need to do is apologize, I continued. For 18 years, you've been a part of the problem. And they did. They put out a statement, acknowledged their role, and vowing to do better. I was stunned. For the first time, I thought, wow, maybe change is coming. Instead, the cycle repeated itself. Watching Matt's season felt like reliving my own. The focus was on his white mother and his popular white friends in the franchise. This man runs a nonprofit. He's close with his family, but they gave us whiteness. They gave us his whiteness. The end of the season centered around the end of the season centered on the absentee Black father narrative, yet again playing into a stereotype. And then Rachel Kirkconnell, you've got a contestant who you know is the winner at this point. You could have gotten ahead of the game by letting her make a statement, but true to the franchise, they thought this will blow over. After my interview with Harrison, I thought this is a charade at this point. If the person who has been a representative of your show for nearly 2 decades thinks this way, what does it say about the rest of it? How does that trickle down into how the series is made? The fish rots at the head, and it was stank after that display. The fandom had always had a complicated relationship with me, but it really started to turn against me after that interview. The franchise has spent 19 years cultivating a toxic audience. They have constantly given it a product it wants, a Midwestern, Southern, white, blonde, light-eyed Christian. Not all viewers are like that. My higher learning co-host and I had divided it. There is Bachelor Nation, and then there is Bachelor Clan. Bachelor Clan is hateful, racist, misogynistic, xenophobic, and homophobic. They are afraid of change. They are afraid to be uncomfortable. They are afraid when they get called out. Some fans on social media started trying to dig up dirt on me. I received death threats and personal attacks. I had to hire people to protect me. I couldn't even pretend to want to be involved anymore. I didn't want to give people a reason to talk about me because everything I was saying was becoming a headline. And so I decided to remove myself from it all. I don't regret being the Bachelorette, but if I were to do anything differently, it would be to think about the diversity of the stories on my season. Kenny is somebody I really liked. I hated that he dedicated so much time to fighting with Lee that this became his narrative. I wish I had told him it's probably not going to work for us, but man, you're a good person and a great father. I should have kept him along so viewers could see a beautiful display of a Black man on the show. I wish I had highlighted Josiah. He and I were never going to make it either. We were too alike, but he was funny and he was an attorney and he had a beautiful story about why he chose his profession. As I've continued to watch the show, I realized they don't seem to understand the stereotypes that are placed on Black men. They too only see them as fitting into one stereotype: angry, absentee, or worthless. If I had watched the show before going on, perhaps I would have navigated that differently. I wasn't thinking about the machinations. I'm no longer making myself available to the Bachelor universe, though any contestant, past and future or present, who needs my advice can call me. To the franchise, I am no longer a figurehead. I am no longer a spot filler. I am no longer the face of what is diverse. The goal for me was always to be that person until I could step away because change had happened and I could sit back and enjoy it. That hasn't come to pass exactly, but I'll cautiously sit back and watch upcoming seasons. And I'll watch the upcoming season with Michelle Young, the next Black Bachelorette, to uplift and support her. I used to always say, if you want me to shut up, bring in another Black lead. Now, I wouldn't come back and talk about something if they paid me. Well, maybe if they paid me 8 figures. Yes, girl. Yes. I'm sorry. I had to read that. I had to read that whole thing. Who was juicy? Oh, it's juicy. She took us behind the scenes. Let them know, girl. Let him go. I'm absolutely proud of her. I'm absolutely proud of her. And again, I think she picked perfectly for her. Perfectly for her. Knowing everything that happened on that woman's season. Oh my God, today, Rachel. Wow. Wow. Thank you for telling your truth. Who was the guy? What was his name? Will something. Who was the guy who was not comfortable with her? Will. What was his last name? Bachelorette. She said he was not comfortable holding her. Yeah, Indigo girl. She picked a good one. She picked a good one. Listen, this is the thing, right? I had to go because like every time I was because I was reading it, but I was also reading ahead, two eyes. And every time I would be like, I can't cut this out because this is very important. It was also something I know. I didn't know about Will. I did not know about Will. Will Gaskin. Will Gaskin. Who is Will Gaskin? Oh. Oh yeah, this Will. I can't bring it up because my phone is acting funny. But Will married a white woman. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but yeah, they put that man on the show knowing. She said he wouldn't even hold her hand. Ugh. Ugh. Black woman, live your best life. Do whatever the hell you want. Do whatever the hell you want. You deserve. You deserve. I hope there wasn't a super chat set because I had to read that whole thing. I could not. There was like stuff I just could not like let go of. I had to go through the whole thing. She went line by line and told it all and didn't hold back. Girl, you better work. You better work. You know, I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. Oh, she went through hell. She went through hell to literally go on a date with a black man, have it filmed, and have the white producer say, you have to send this guy home because we can't edit this to make it look like he likes you. He didn't even want to touch her. Ugh. Ah! Oh my goodness. And wait a minute. Also in this interview, I didn't know that they had picked Peter. Remember, they wanted it to be Peter, but she says that they had already picked him over Mike. I don't know what Peter did to not get that position. I think it was maybe when Rachel started speaking out against him. That's when he lost the spot. Maybe. But she said they had picked him over Mike. Rachel, you need to do a Bachelor podcast. I know you're done with the last one that you were doing, but you need a Bachelor tea, a batch chat. Let's do batch chat together, girl. Because that was some tea. That was some tea. Oh, it's very sad. I wish we would have got the season that I just read about. I wish we would have got the true season. I wish we would have got to know a bit more of Rachel, because I feel like real Rachel would have been well liked and more received received by everybody. I think they forced her into this idea that would satisfy not Bachelor Nation, but Bachelor Clan. And it did not work for her. It did not. She really went through it. She really, really went through it. And is still going through it today because Bachelor Clan will not leave this woman alone. Damn. Thank you for speaking out, sis. Thank you for speaking out. Child, she got Peter together. She got Peter. When she said that he reminded her of her ex, I'll give you just enough to hang on, but I won't give you really what you need. Just enough to make you think I'm interested. Ooh, Rachel, you told it all, girl. Good for you. Good for you. If they pick Mike, we wouldn't be here, Onika. If they pick Mike, we would not be here. Yes, this is the article I just read. I'm going to have to read this again. I'm going to have to, because I was just like, going through it quickly because I know I was reading it to you guys, but my God, today, that was some tea. That was some tea. And Rachel, I know you said that you and that girl that won Nick season, you and her in a better place. You might have to call her again because, girl, y'all might need to refix this relationship again because you wasn't holding back. Yes, mama. Yes, mama. She got them all together, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Shadia said, even thinking about Matt's season is pissing me off again. A whole Michelle and Brie. Yep. And he chose the girl that went to plantation parties. That's where his mind is. That's where his mind is. Hey, Ashley Nicole. Ashley said she should have kept Kenny and Anthony. Anthony could have been a perfect first black bachelor. He ended up with a black woman. Wow. I miss Josiah. Why is there no more Josiah? Like, I hope he's on Paradise. I miss Josiah. Me too, Indigo Girl. Indigo Girl said, Rachel is amazing. I am blown away and would love to be her friend. Who she is, I really wish they would have, I don't know. You like her more after reading this article, and you wish that this is what you got on her season than what they wanted her to be. And to think so many times that she was crying, we're thinking it's about contestants or about her, struggling with who to keep or who to send. It's actually because producers are forcing her to make these decisions that she does not want to make. Like literally telling her she can't cut somebody because they're black. I'm not vibing with him. This fool gotta go. Oh, they did. They did, Simply Simone. They put our girl through it. They put our girl through it. Like, we knew it was bad. We know it was this bad. Thank you, Maya. I did my best. Oh, thank you, Coos Girly. Thank you. But Lauren, it all makes sense. Their date was so short. It all makes sense. Will did not want to even touch her. Pray for black women. Our men are lost. Not all, but enough. We got way too many Wills. Way too many Wills. Just lost. And not being lost because you're attracted to somebody of a different race or culture or anything like that. Just, you can't even hold a black woman's hand. What the hell is going on with you? Anyway, hey, Kayla. Kayla said, Nikki took us back to the book time with Matt in kindergarten. She read the whole thing. It was too good. Rachel was spilling. It was too good. Yep, she did. Venus says she won in the end because she's happy with Brian and they're one of the only couples that survived. Absolutely. And he is the perfect non-black husband for a black woman. You know what I'm like? This is how you do it. The way he protects her. Oh my God. And the way he get his people together. That's the kind of, like, if you ain't gonna go black, you got to go with somebody who get it, right? You know, if you happen to just fall in love with somebody who is not from your tribe or your continent, you have to get somebody who either know or is willing to learn and is doing the work and knows how to protect you. Of course, love you. But protection, especially when you're with a black woman, you're going to need to do some extra protecting you ain't never done before in your damn life for any woman you've been with. It's different out here in these streets for us. He's doing the work. He's doing it very well. I'm very happy for her. I'm glad she picked for her and not for the show. Hey, Bianca. Bianca said, I remember him. So uncomfortable. The producers only cast certain people for drama. They didn't want a love match. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They literally picked her because she's black. No other reason. They knew that she was going to be the Black Bachelorette when she went into Nick's season. That's what that whole thing was about. That whole, audition was about. They knew they were picking for the Black Bachelor because the head of ABC at that time, I knew it. I knew she was the reason Rachel got that position. I knew it. That would have never happened. That would have never happened had the president of ABC still been a white man. Never happened. I can't bring Will up. Like something is going on my internet, on my phone. It's so weird. And I depend on this. Let me turn it off and turn it back on. Like, what is going on? Onika said it was too good. I was in a hospital last night and I was reading the whole article. By the time I was finished, they called to give me my results. So good. We hope and pray that everything is okay, Onika. Anyway, guys, I had to read that. I had to talk about that with you. I got to get out of here. I got to set up my COVID test. I booked some busy. Anyway, love y'all. Thank you for sticking around with me for this long. Thank you for sticking with me through the article. Hold on. Let me acknowledge my super chat from Sunshine, my cousin. Hey, Sunshine. Rachel didn't mention Tasia. That was interesting. But Tasia is part of the machine. Maybe she did not mention Tasia because, like I said, she's still, like you just said, she's probably, not with the machine in a bad way, but still employed by them. And, maybe she wants to distance herself so that her friend could get some coin. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's something going on with her. I don't know. I do not yet. That is very interesting that she never mentioned Tay-Tay. She went right to Michelle. She talked about Matt, skipped over Tay-Tay, and went right to Michelle. Huh? It's right here. You need it?
Yeah.
It's right here.
Pass it to me because we have to.
I know. I'm wrapping up. I'm getting out of here. Thank you. All right. I got to go. Love y'all. Thank you so much, Sunshine. I'm telling you, I'm going to get this fixed. I'm going to get this fixed. And I have another super chat. Hey, Angela. Thank you, Angela. Angela said, do you remember during the dinner part of the date with Will and Rachel where he told her he didn't normally date Black women? I do. I just didn't remember what he looks like. I remember calling him Widget the World Watcher, though. He has Widget the World Watcher airs. He really, really does. But yeah, he's trash. Thank you, Angela, for the super chat. And thank you all for sticking with me. I appreciate it. We had a good time. What's today? Wednesday? I'm going to try to do something tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to put something up. Thursday, booked. So I'm not doing anything on Thursday. Friday, I don't know. I'll keep y'all posted. I don't know how my week is going to be. Isn't this the life? Isn't this what we prayed for? God is good. God is good. Love you, Rachel. Send her some love. Go over to Rachel's page, Star Fam. Let her know the Star Fam loves her and we support her. Go over to Caitlin's page. Let her know the Star Fam loves her and we support her. And she looks amazing. Don't let the haters take her down. She's gorgeous. Rachel is stunning. We love and support her. We will not allow this franchise Bachelor clan to tear these women down. The devil is a liar. Love you, Star Fam. I will see you when I see you. Follow me on Instagram because that's where I'll post everything that I'm doing this week because my week is just all over the place right now. So follow me on Instagram. When I'm going to put something up, I will put it there first so you will know what I'm doing. My Instagram is NikkiNicoleStar. Love y'all. Bye. Team Rachel, Team Caitlin, Team Women, period. Love y'all. Bye.